Call y'all about Shin Yahushua. And shalom to the elect and all the apostles and the elders and the teachers that's pushing this word out and exposing these devils. Now I'm about to go into this topic. I came across this article, and I posted a link in the description box too once I upload it. Well, it's about the amalekites. Now the reason why I came across this because I was just out and about one day, and I happened to come across this guy, and he was talking about the Ashkenazi Jews and all this different stuff, and how I know I'm a real Jew. But I was trying to try a spirit, because you do got Israelites that look like Edomites, or look like Amalekites, and vice versa. We got some of our people, I won't say our people, we got people that look like us, but their lineage actually go back to Esau. But they just got dark skin or brown skin, so that's where you had the parables about the wheats and the tares. But just an article by Zena Stevens. It says the New World Encyclopedia, and it starts off by saying the Amalekites were a biblical people and the enemy of the Israelites. So our people always be like, oh, we equal and all this old silly ass shit. Since we was created when Jacob and Esau was fighting in the womb. We've been fighting since the beginning, so come on now. People always be like, oh, we all equal and all this silly shit. We don't have no enemies. They say, as you read on, say they were reportedly wiped out almost entirely as a result of Israelite victories against them, and wars beginning shortly after the Exodus and continuing to the period of the early Israelite monarchy. Amalekite settlements are reported in the biblical record as late as the reign of King Hezekiah in the 8th century BCE, and the book of Esther portrays his later villain, Haman, as a descendant of an Amalekite prince. You know, it goes into it even more, but I just want to get to some main points on here and bring out some scriptures real quick. It says, let me go down some. Okay, yeah, when you go down right here, it says the Amalekites are unknown historically, which is false. And it says, and archaeologically, outside of the Bible except for traditions which themselves apparently rely on the biblical accounts. In the Bible, the Amalekites are said to have descended from a common ancestor named Amalek, a grandson of Esau. In this sense, they may be considered one of the Edomite tribes. And then this guy goes on and says, Jewish tradition sees the Amalekites as an implacable enemy of both God and Israel. His God's name is Yahweh. And I'm going to go into the traits of Esau and these Amalekites, because that's what they do. Still to this day. For people to be like, oh, we don't know who they is. Well, let's see what the traits of these characters are. It's in the book of Genesis. Let me get to it real quick. Bear with me for a minute, I'm just trying to find it. No, I got it marked in here. Okay, here we go. Here go the characteristics right here in the book of Genesis chapter 25. Let's see where I'm going to start at. Start at verse 24. For the ones that may not have read all this, just read this whole chapter. Go through the lineage from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and Esau. And the reason why that's significant, it says in verse 24, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Now look, let me look something up real quick. Who else be born red? Because these devils want to try to play games and be like, oh, that's not us. That was back then. That was them. And reincarnation is in the scripture too. That's why I say prepare slaughter for for their children, for the iniquities of their fathers, in the book of Isaiah. So let's see. I'm just gonna type it in and see what it say when I type it in. What babies come out red? Come out looking red. Oh, what do we have here? I didn't even have to go into detail. I just typed in what babies come out looking red. No, I ain't making this up. Now, what the scripture say? It says, and these devils, they keep trying to hide from it, man. This shit funny as hell, man. It says in verse 25, in chapter 25 in the book of Genesis, it says, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they call his name Esau. Now, who else come out like a red hairy garment? Baby Esau. You gotta laugh at this up, man, because, and the crazy thing about it, it's been scientifically proven that our people are the only people that can have a so-called brown-skinned baby and a white baby at the same time. So I'm gonna read on some more. Saying verse 26, and after that his brother out. No, Salak, let me read that over. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. His name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. Now the reason why they didn't describe the skin tone of Jacob, because they need to be described. Everybody in that time frame or in that region was melanated, dark skin, brown skin. It says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. Hold up. Let me type in who's the most cunning hunters. Gotta use their words with this shit. You got Jake on that too, but these niggas only hunt because they be hanging around these devils. But hold on, let's see who the most cunning hunters for real though. Look at Esau out there. Esau got what that is? What the hell is that? A wild boar. That shit huge as fuck. Esau happy too. Look at him. Big ass boy. These are the most cunning hunters right here. Got to be a cunning hunter to go out there and catch one of these. This side, so look, you got the little baby Esau out there with a rifle bigger than him out there. And these boars, they'll eat your ass if they get a chance to. That's how big they get. But yeah, these are the most cunning hunters right here. The scriptures don't lie, man. Ain't no way to get around it. People always want to be like, oh, this book was written by a white man. Well, if it was written by the so-called white man, he would have took this part out about Esau being the most cunning hunter, because he would have been trying to hide it. And I ain't gonna try to make it too long. I just wanted to speak on these topics because I came across this article and I knew this would be edifying too at the same time. See, I'm gonna get one more picture real quick. Esau killing all type of shit. That's why these animals, that's why they always be turning on them in them zoos and all that stuff too. Because a lot of people, we could actually go around these animals, and the animals be calm, they'll be at peace, they might want to play. You know, I wouldn't advise people to go around and do extra stuff and try to tempt the Lord, but naturally, we're supposed to have rule over the animals anyway. But stuff been out of order, so, you know, it ain't like how it used to be. But these devils, they go out there and go slaughter the animals. Stuff like this, and post up with their little guns. That's Esau. No, you go into the scriptures even more. For the descriptions. It says in verse 27, once again, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, and a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Now you look at all our people, how we chill out, we like to chill, be inside. Like me personally, I like to chill out. Might invite me a woman over, something cook, have some music playing or something like that. Just chilling. You gotta go out and do all that extra junk. That's Esau with that extra shit. Of course we got to take trips and go see different little stuff like that, but ultimately you go take trips to places where you end up at inside, chilling, relaxing with your woman, or your family members and stuff like that. That's Jacob. So the characteristics is there for them to be like, in this article, the Amalekites are unknown historically in archaeology outside of the Bible, except for the traditions, which themselves apparently rely on biblical accounts. In the Bible, the Amalekites are said to have descended from a common ancestor named Amalek, a grandson of Esau. Now, I'm going to go down some more, too, while I want to get to another point. I can end this off and talk about, when I post this link, you can read into this article some more, and it got scriptures you can go to, but there's even more scriptures you can go to. It says right here in this chapter, it said destroyed by Saul and David, which David wasn't. Saul went off, and David was trying to do it, but it wasn't time for that at that time. But then he gets terminated. But that's why David ended up becoming king, because he was really what the Most High wanted him to do. Saul was trying to be sneaky and leave him alive and do all this other stuff. Got different accounts, like this image down here shows. Say the prophet Samuel kills King Agag of the Amalekites. So our people, we was going in on these devils all the time. It's another one they had. Say the Amalekites fight with the Israelites led by Joshua, with Moses pictured in the background. There's a lot of stuff for edification on here. Even though they got certain stuff whitewashed, like this one right here with said Jacob on the left, Esau the grandfather, Amalek on the right. So, they got to whitewash some stuff too, but as you read on, I'm going to go to the point where it says critical views. It said the origins and identity of the Amalekites remain a subject of discussion, and the ethics of their treatment by the Israelites are a topic of continuous debate. Well, hold up. When you go back up, they say they were enemies of Israel and the Most High. So it wasn't just because what the Israelites was doing. They was doing what they was commanded to do. And it's all throughout the scriptures. Now it says in the next chapter, not chapter, but the next little part, the next paragraph, it says no archaeological evidence of the Amalekites exists that can be distinguished from the Edomite and other Semitic counterparts. It is thus impossible to identify them historically outside of biblical record, which is bullshit. I just described them. Hey, they gonna take down the internet soon too, though, because the information coming out. Too much information coming out. You just type it in, who was a cunning hunter, or who was born red all over, and they come up just that quick. I'm gonna read on and say, which is written by their mortal enemies, the very people who claim to have exterminated them at God's command. But hold up, I'm gonna end that there, and I'll just share this link so whoever sees they can read on. Now you go in the book of Obadiah. Go to that real quick. Book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 18. But yeah, I'm gonna start at 17. Nah, scratch that. I'm gonna just read through it, because Obadiah breaks down this nonsense that I just read. They talking about they can't prove them historically and all this archaeology junk and all this. So they know who they are. It says, in verse 3, but yeah, verse 2, in the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, it said, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised, and these nations despising these Amalekites, these Edomites, heavily right now. That's why all this stuff been going on. In verse 3, it said, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who will bring me down to the ground? And that's what they're doing. You got them flying the space station stuff around, satellites, all type of stuff they launching up there in space and leaving trash and shit all over the damn place. Then got the nerve to want to go to another planet and try to do the same stuff, which the Most High ain't letting them go to another planet. So don't believe the nonsense of them traveling to all these different moons and all this different stuff. And they can't even get to the bottom of the deepest part of the ocean. But anyway, I'm going to read on some more. It says, Verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. And they got stuff out there in space, but it's only a certain point they can reach. They can't go that far. I'm going to jump down to verse 6. It said, how are the things that Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? So, the Most High put the spirit on man to search out Esau. Sure, you even got Edomites exposing Edomites. So, there's all type of stuff going on to bring out the information, especially with this internet. Let me see, I'm going to read on some more. Verse 8, it says, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau, and thy mighty man, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Say, for the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And this ain't happened yet. This is prophecy. So for these people writing these articles and all this different stuff, they're going off heavily. To my critical view. This is a critical view right here, the book of Obadiah. It say, let's see what I'm going to read out to get straight to the point. Verse 15 in chapter 1 of the book of Obadiah, it says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. It ain't came yet, but it's coming. It says, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. Now, you have people to be like, oh, just forget and forgive and all that stuff. But when you go to court and all that shit, the judge don't be like, oh, I'm going to just forget and forgive you. You can go ahead and go home, go back home. But they're cool with this type of system, though. But when you mention stuff like this in the scriptures, though, it's like, oh, just forget and forgive. That's too harsh. But let me see how the Most High feel about this and what the prophecy concerning Edom is. It said, verse 16, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and it shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness. And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions, which haven't happened yet, because our people got to pay bills, rent, and all this shit, still struggling. People got to go get stamps, Section 8, all type of government aid, student loans, all that bullshit. So this prophecy ain't came to pass yet. It says in verse 18, it says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. There shall not be any remainder of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. So people be talking about, oh, just forget and forgive. Hey, the Most High ain't forget about none of this. This prophecy that's coming for these damn devils, these amalekites, and the main one's gonna get it, because a lot of these low-level Edomites, they just gonna be wiped out once Babylon get wiped out. And yeah, nukes is biblical. For people to be like, oh, the nukes ain't in the Bible and all that stuff. The scripture said that the Most High created the smith to blow up the coals. That's the reason why he created them scientists to go split them atoms and do all that different stuff for their own demise. And you got the nations not gearing up, getting ready to do all this stuff that's been prophesied. So ain't no way around it. That lake of fire is going to be on the earth. And it's going to come from them nukes. If you ever watch a video, see a nuke go off, it look like a lake of fire once it's spread out. How you jump in a lake and that water spread out like that, that's exactly how them missiles spread out. So, don't be deceived by people saying, oh, it's just a scare tactic, a fear tactic and all that. Hey, ultimately the Most High said beginning of knowledge and wisdom is the fear of the Lord. And that's a fearful thing, knowing the Most High created these devils to create missiles just to bring destruction on earth. So That's all I want to go into, really. Now, Lord's when I make another video soon and go into another topic because there's a lot of news coming up. And call all y'all about Shalom to the elect.